Capture and defend, Guardians.
What's going on, guys? This is Martyrs Brigade 99 coming to you once again with another session of Destiny commentary. Alright guys, now I know it has been a minute since I've uploaded a Destiny related video, but I think it's about time. So I've been watching a few videos talking about scout rifles, you know, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know that the Vision of Confluence is one of the more popular of scout rifles. Now, admittedly, you know, I do recognize all the benefits that come with the Vision of Confluence. But honestly, aside from the Vault of Glass and outside of, you know, the Nightfalls that has solar burn, I never really mess around with the Vision of Confluence. You know, I'm more of an auto rifle type of guy. But this particular video is going to talk about one of my top 3 favorite primary weapons, and that is the Beline trauma. Now, the type of the Beline trauma that I have is not the kind that you can purchase from the Crucible. I actually made that mistake in the beginning of the expansion. You know, I noticed that Planet Destiny had a database with all the weapons. So what I did was I went on there, I went through every single class, and I was just kind of browsing through the new weapons that we were getting just to check them out, you know, check out the attributes and everything. And I knew once I saw this that this would be a weapon that I would definitely take interest in. Now, why did I take interest in this in particular? Well, as far as scout rifles, I really like the Meta Multi-Tool. I really like the Meta Multi-Tool because it has a relatively fast fire rate, and I mean it's just really cool as far as scout rifles in the Crucible. Now, this particular talk, I'm not really talking about PvE. You can't really go wrong in PvE with any other scout rifle, so I'm talking in particular in the Crucible. The Meta Multi-Tool, in my opinion, was the most versatile. Now, it had a higher, faster rate than weapons like, you know, let's just say the Vision of Confluence and some of these others. So it would allow you to be a little more mobile, but at the same time, you did have to kind of stay mid-range in the event that you may run into, you know, let's just say a fusion rifle or something like that. So in some cases, you can kind of maneuver the Meta Multi-Tool in relatively close range, but obviously not as close for a shotgun or a fusion rifle. So it was really versatile. I used to like that weapon. But once I noticed that there was a scout rifle that had a higher fire rate than the Meta Multi-Tool, I knew I had to get my hands on it. So this is not the type that you can get from the Crucible. Like I said before, I made a mistake. I purchased that one from the Crucible, and I didn't like it at all. It wasn't that I didn't like the weapon, I didn't like the sights. One thing that I have realized is that sights, for me, can make or break a weapon. I had a Vanquisher. Right, as a matter of fact, I purchased the one that you can get directly from New Monarchy. And as soon as I got it, I hated it because of the sights that was on it. I just couldn't work my way around those sights. But then I would say probably about a month ago, I got a Vanquisher from a Nightfall, and I got a dot sight, and it was the best weapon for me. One thing that I have realized, outside of obviously shotguns and fusion rifles, the brigade personally needs a dot sight. I can't deal with those type with the, you know, round circular bubble on the inside, because a lot of those sights, the reticle tends to move around and bounce. I can't deal with that, especially coming from a game like Killzone, where there was no aim assist, right? Because I am so used to having control of my reticle to where if I see it bouncing around, it kind of makes me want to, you know, change my aiming up, and that's the last thing I want to do. So once I get my hands on a dot sight, most of them are steady, and I don't have to worry about a reticle bouncing around. And, you know, obviously I don't have to think twice about whether I should maneuver my aim or not. So I finally got the perfect Beline Trauma. Now, as far as the perks for this particular weapon, I have all the range perks. I can basically use this thing just like a sniper rifle. It's just that effective. I have the rangefinder perk in addition to, I think it's hammer forged. So in total, my range is pretty much max. So I have all the range perks in addition to a stability perk, which makes this thing a beauty. And as you can see, you know, you can use it at medium range, you can use it at a distance, and in some cases I can even use it somewhat close range in some cases. Now, I wouldn't run and gun with this thing to the same extent as you would with the auto rifle, but can you pull it off in some cases? Yes, you can. Now, I have heard some people say the impact is, you know, kind of on the meh side, but I would argue that it's pretty good. When you consider some of the most popular weapons out there, most auto rifles, the Beline Trauma has more impact and is therefore more effective than a lot of auto rifles. Even the Soros Regime, which hits for about 37, 38 on a headshot, well, this hits for 43. And even in some cases, I've been able to compete with the Vex Mytho class, which hits for around 45 to the headshot. So, you know, I wouldn't run around thinking I'm Rambo with this particular weapon, but are there cases where you can compete? Yes, you can. Now, one thing you would not see from the brigade in any Destiny PvP videos is me doing the, you know, what I would like to call the crouching tiger hit and troll. There are so many players on this game that do nothing but crawl around, you know, strafing to the left, strafing to the right. That's all they do. It is so annoying. And perhaps it's just playstyle. Because me, as you guys can see, I'm a little more aggressive. I like to get out there. I don't like to hide around corners. I don't like to, you know, crouch and, you know, because I'm afraid to be seen. No, I don't really care about being seen. And I think that was one of the benefits with coming from Killzone. In Killzone, there were gunfights. It wasn't all this hide and seek stuff that you see in Destiny. Right, so no matter what weapon I'm going to be using, what weapon I'm going to be showcasing, you will not see none of that weak and ridiculous, you know, crouching tiger hitting trolls. You will not catch that from me. Now, one thing that I will say, up until about a month ago, I absolutely hated the Crucible, but after all this time, I have really come to, I can't even really say tolerate it. I can actually say that I'm starting to like it. And I think it was really just an adjustment coming from a different game. But, okay, man, these short commentaries is kind of hard for me to do it. Anyway, that's enough for this video. Please go get a Beline Trauma. I'm pretty sure you guys will like it. And hey, until next time, Martyrs Brigade is out.